counting down.
All right. Hello, guys, and welcome to Conserving 915. This is Ruben.
El Pinche Steve is here.
I'm Dave.
And Angel.
All right, guys. So today we're going to start off with a fellow you guys might know by the name of Edward Snowden.
A hero you may know by the name of Edward Snowden.
He had to.
He's not a hero. He exposed U.S.
Without the permission of the people he exposed.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he got in trouble, right?
Yeah.
He exposed the people, and the people that he exposed did not approve of the exposing. So he took off to. He even left his girlfriend here, right?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure he's got a Russian girlfriend or the little hats. And all that.
And only the hats.
And only the hat. Anyway, so Edward Snowden says OpenAI just performed a calculated betrayal of the rights of every person on Earth.
What?
This is one thing a lot of people, and it's not because of the Terminator movies, but I've always thought that AI is
It's the
it's
devil.
kind of like a scary thing. And
The
then
Antichrist.
recently even Musk has been saying that it's more. I think he even said that it was scarier than nuclear war.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I do tend to believe this. How can you compete against somebody that can outthink you? And again, there's a whole thing about if they're sentient or they're not. I mean, that doesn't matter if it's a sentient being or not. If they can unthink you and do your job a lot faster and
Doesn't
better,
sleep.
doesn't sleep,
Doesn't get tired. And
that thinks of the chess moves, I don't know, a couple 100,000 moves ahead of you. I mean, is it better than a human? Of course not. But, if it can outthink you, it is a problem.
it's pretty powerful.
So anyways, last week, ChatGPT creator OpenAI announced that it had appointed retired U.S. Army General and former National Security Administrator Director Paul Nakasone, I hope I'm saying it right, who also helmed the military cybersecurity-focused Cyber Command Unit to its board. General Nakasone's unparalleled experience in areas like cybersecurity, OpenAI board chair Brett Taylor said in a statement, will help guide OpenAI in achieving its mission of ensuring artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity.
How?
But not everyone is, it's writing a lot of papers for kids, I know that.
Oh, well, there's
So
that.
it's benefiting them in that. A lot of guys aren't doing their schoolwork. All right, so anyways. But not everyone is thrilled about Nakasone's new role at the AI firm, which will also see the former general seated at OpenAI Safety and Security Committee. The NSA has long been associated with surveillance of U.S. citizens, and AI-embedded technologies are already renewing and escalating existing surveillance concerns. With that in mind, it might be unsurprising that former NSA employees and famed whistleblower Edward Snowden is among the OpenAI appointment's outspoken detractors. And I think this was a whole thing about Snowden, right? That I think he was cool with it, but then I think his conscience kind of started calling on him.
Like that nurse that we spoke about earlier.
Yeah, that, like his buddies were listening in on their ex-girlfriends, boyfriends. They were doing a whole...
They were looking at like their pictures too now.
Pictures. Pretty much they were abusing the trust they were trusted with, the powers that they were trusted with, right? So, and it's just like anything, people take advantage of whatever they can do. So anyways, they've gone full mask off. Do not even trust OpenAI or its products. Snowden emphasis wrote in a Friday post to X, formerly Twitter, adding that there's only one reason for appointing an NSA director to your board. That's right. It's kind of like the deep state. They never leave, right? The administrations change, but the staff hardly ever does. This is a willful, calculated betrayal of the rights of every person on Earth, he continued. You've been warned. So transparency worries. I'm pretty sure these guys are going to be transparent, no? Yeah, they are.
I mean, given their track record so far.
Don't be a negative Nancy.
As transparent as their suits.
All right. Okay.
Oh, my.
All right. Snowden wasn't the only prominent cybersecurity figure to raise an eyebrow at the OpenAI news. I do think that the biggest application of AI... I need to wear my glasses from now on. I do think that the biggest application of AI is going to be mass population surveillance. Johns Hopkins University cryptography professor Matthew Green tweeted. And you don't even need a Johns Hopkins University cryptographer to tell you this.
To notice the pattern.
If you've been, you go to the store, you're being watched. If you have security at your house, you're being watched by.
If you have a Bible purchase in your house,
not just by you. But I'm talking
statement.
about surveillance. You're pretty much
My
filmed.
point was you're being surveilled like in all kinds of manners.
Yeah, but like me, I'm even talking about just you're filmed pretty much every day of your life at your work, at your house. Go ahead, Angel.
I'm pretty sure like the AI is going to be scanning your purchases too eventually.
Well, I'm pretty sure they already are doing it.
I just recently bought a thing of Preparation H.
Oh yeah. All right. So and you know what? I don't really buy I don't really buy alcohol or any of those things, but I've always wondered why when I'm at the store, and it really has been a while since I've bought any of that stuff. That's my partying days are over. I can't handle it anymore. I drink one beer and I wake up with a headache. So
once you reach a certain age, I suppose.
Once you're in your 30s, you don't do that anymore. Anyway, but I've always noticed that when people in front of me are buying it, and they show their ID, and they do it to everybody, like they do it to my dad. And my dad's obviously over 21. They check his ID, and I'm pretty sure you can do the math. But I've always had a problem when they swipe it. Why do you need to swipe it? You should be able to do the math, and people are like, "Oh, don't worry about it. You're not, But why should a computer system keep tabs on when you buy
alcohol?
When you buy a beer? I just don't, and it doesn't bother me because, like I said, I hardly ever do it. But why is there like a log on your alcohol purchases? Anyways, so bringing the former head of the NASA into OpenAI has some solid logic behind it. Yeah, that they want people that have been in the deep state to keep on controlling the deep state. Nakasone's installation comes after a series of high-profile OpenAI departures that included prominent safety researchers, in addition to the total dissolution of OpenAI's now defunct super alignment safety team.
So it's a safety protocol.
Okay.
It ensures.
But it's now defunct, right?
Yeah,
There's no one pretending.
All right, let's get back to it.
All right, so the super alignment was meant to, make sure that AI performs under human expectations and human interests.
Doesn't go rogue.
Doesn't go Terminator on us, right?
Yeah.
Skynet, I think was
Doesn't
the name.
launch the nukes. All right, so OpenAI's replacement for that team, the Safety and Security Committee, is now helmed by company CEO Sam Altman, who has come under fire in recent weeks for business practices that involved silencing former employees. Oh, if you can silence former employees without AI, what can you do to people with AI?
Yeah, Sam Altman. Yeah, he's
a character, right?
Microscope.
Do you know who that is?
I've heard about him. Yeah,
like
he's been really, really shady, man, and specifically wants to.
So when they say the real Slim
AI,
Shady stand up, he stands up.
Pretty much, man.
All right. It's also worth noting that OpenAI has routinely drawn criticism for, again, its lack of transparency regarding the data used to train its many AI models. And then if you believe what's out there, they say that AI is actually a lot more advanced than what we get to play with. So who knows what's out there. But at the same time, per Axios, many on Capitol Hill see Nakasone's OpenAI a censure as a security win.
Of course they would.
Yeah. And Nakasone, for his part, said in a statement that OpenAI's dedication to its mission aligns closely with my own values. Oh, wow.
Which is world domination.
And experience in public service. I look forward to contributing to OpenAI's efforts, he added, to ensure artificial general intelligence is safe and beneficial to people around the world. Because they really care about us.
Like any high-tech bad guy from all of the
James Bond movies?
all the movies. Not just James Bond, like even like Kingsman, stuff like that. It's always some super rich, super smart guy that thinks he's doing something good for the world.
Yeah, and that's the way they sell it. It's either for the kids, it's either for the world, or we're gonna save even if it's one life.
If it's one life,
Yeah.
or especially like the Green Initiative. That's also another thing. Like, oh no, it's a Bond villain.
And people know it's obvious that even your phones listening in on you, your Even like your Ring doorbells, I'm pretty sure
Your text messages.
someone else other than you has access to them, right? All that.
Leaders of the world are telling us, don't trust yourself with yourself. Trust us with
With you.
yourself.
With
you.
all of you.
With all of you.
Trust us, trusting AI with you.
Oh, that's a bad combo. Well, guys, welcome to the end of the world.
I wonder if what Schwabby Schwab has to say about this.
Proceed.
The AI's technology is very good.
It's the future.
Suit everyone.
And the future is
You'll
now.
be spied and you will like it. All right, vindication. All right.
What do you got for us, Angel?
So this one was kind of interesting. There was a major court ruling out of the Ninth Circuit Court. What you're looking at right now is a post on X by Dr. David Martin.
Hey, Angel, can I interrupt? Is Dr. David Martin a known doctor? I've never heard of this guy.
He's getting a lot of popularity in the COVID world. He's brought up a lot of stuff that's happened, I guess, with how the vaccine actually got approved, the history, and apparently it was actually something that was developed prior to the actual COVID, quote unquote, pandemic.
The mRNA technology. And what I'm wondering is because is that a picture of him or not?
Yes.
I really
You like his bow tie?
no. You know what? I thought I saw George Washington till I squinted. I'm serious. I'm
You
gonna
really
start
need
wearing
to
my
get
glasses.
your, yeah, you really need to
You
get
know,
your,
And that's why I asked you if he was a known doctor because I thought that was I thought that was a picture of something else. So and I was way off.
Yeah, and then, so anyway, I think he's part of the Freedom Defense Alliance or some, I'll put a link to it. But, so they've actually been battling a lot of the information, I guess, that's gone to court. And what happened was, let me go ahead and read, I guess, what's on this post. And we're going to go ahead and link it also in the description. But vindication, COVID bioweapon injections were not vaccines. And the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals just concurred. No more mRNA mandates. So here, we're about to read a court opinion. Here's a little piece from that opinion. Addressing the merits, the panel held that the district court misapplied the Supreme Court's decision in Jacobson versus Massachusetts, 197 U.S. 11, in concluding that the policy survived rational basis review. Jacobson held that the mandatory vaccinations were rationally related to preventing the spread of smallpox. Here, however, plaintiffs allege that the vaccine does not effectively prevent spread, but only mitigate symptoms for the recipient, and therefore is akin to a medical treatment, not a quote-unquote traditional vaccine. Taking plaintiffs' allegations as true at this stage of litigation, plaintiffs plausibly allege that the COVID-19 vaccine does not effectively prevent the spread of COVID-19. Thus, Jacobson does not apply. So what exactly does that mean? There was a lot of quote-unquote vaccine mandates that occurred. People unfortunately lost their jobs as a result of not taking the vaccine, and they lost their livelihoods. So it turns out that these guys at the FDA, CDC, they changed the definition of what they quote unquote thought was a vaccine. And I'm pretty sure a lot of our audience has seen the back and forth between Senator Paul and Fauci during some of those congressional testimonies. So these guys updated the definition of a vaccine, but there's actually a law of what the difference is between a vaccine and a medical treatment. And so what does this further imply? It means that the individual has the right to determine whether or not they want to be subject to a medical treatment. So if the vaccine is a medical sorry, I shouldn't say vaccine because it wasn't a vaccine. If
jab.
Yeah, if what they were calling a COVID vaccine, which we're going to reference as a jab, was actually a medical treatment, then nobody had any right to enforce such mandates on any individual.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of stuff that's happened over the past several years has actually been, according to this decision,
A gross violation of human rights.
And see, and I've heard a lot of people, and even the alleged installed president, I've heard him say, or some of his cronies were saying that nobody was forced to take the vaccine. But I mean, maybe you have to look at the words they're using. But if you were threatened with losing your job, and if you need to pay your bills, I mean, how can you not call it forced? That's very disgusting that they even say that. They tell you don't have to take it, but I mean, if you don't take it, you're not gonna have a job. Well, what are you supposed to do if you have house payment or if you have kids? I mean, and so it's very dishonest when Now they're saying that nobody was forced. I think even Fauci was saying that
Well,
nobody was forced. But then he
yeah.
was even telling you not to invite your relatives over for Thanksgiving if they weren't if they weren't vaxxed.
And this isn't a quote because I can't remember exactly what he said verbatim, but there's literally like a clip of him where he says like, "Oh yeah, if you start requiring these mandates for going to school, for your job, and we need to make their lives as difficult as possible, they're gonna lose their what is it called? I guess their thoughts about freedom and liberty and not getting the vaccine." And I'm gonna find that clip and I'll also link that too. If I can, I'll make that a short. But he stated that we're going to try and make everybody's lives as difficult as possible in order to get them vaccinated, you know? And to me, this Fauci is absolute filth. But now a lot of this stuff is coming out, and I'm really happy that we have people like Dr. David Martin that are actually fighting all this evil stuff that's going on. But I'd like to hear everybody's opinion on this because everybody's extremely divided on.
I'm very glad. Like he says, I feel vindicated because I did resist and end up not getting the jab.
Same here.
But for a minute there, I almost, I almost caved. But no, thank God, he gave me the resolve to push forth, and much to the chagrin of, some people around me, and sure it may have strained some relationships, but after the dust settled, I mean, everything's fine, and I'm still unjabbed. Now, I'm gonna say something that might be a little controversial, but the Diocese of El Paso also did very strongly push the vaccine on people. And I'm very the jab actually, and I'm very saddened by it because even some parishes were saying that you can't serve here in the church unless you do have the jab, and because of that, I know some people that took it just because they wanted to serve in the church. I mean, like, maybe I don't know, where was the pushback there? I mean, not from the individual people that all like, oh no, I don't need it, but I want to serve my church, so I guess I'll take it. I know some people that did that, and other people that were on the fence just because of that, just because they wanted to serve. Like, what about the bishop? I mean, I'm sorry, Your Excellency, but
Dropped the ball on this one.
yeah, you really did drop the ball here. You shouldn't have pushed anything like this. I mean, now we're seeing that it was never meant to have been a vaccine. Like, it was just pushed as a vaccine, and now we're seeing that it shouldn't have even been forced on anybody, like, or even strongly suggested on anybody, because it wasn't a vaccine to begin with. It's
a medical treatment like
just
ivermectin.
Yeah. Oh, really? The same thing that the left maligned for all of the.
Isn't that stuff they give to horses, like water and stuff like that?
Hay.
Okay.
And just remember, like, those compilations from
You're not
Rachel
gonna eat
Maddow,
hay, are you?
the president, Fauci, like, oh yeah, once you get this vaccine, you become a dead end for the COVID-19 virus. And dude, this
Take it to save your grandma.
Yeah. So
disgusting.
So I'm just gonna read that one more time. Plaintiffs plausibly allege that the COVID-19 vaccine, again, does not effectively prevent the spread of COVID-19. So just remember everything Rachel Maddow said, Fauci, Joe Biden. Yes. So.
And you know what? Like, I don't have a problem with people that want to take this stuff.
Yeah.
Just the way that people were against it, the way they were treated. Like, I know people would stay away from you, or like if you were gonna, like, if you're responsible for everyone on Earth dying because you didn't take the shot. Like, I know with me that's the way it was. I had friends that didn't want to, which is fine with me. I really don't care. But I had people that would ask me if I had the vax. I was thinking vax. That they would ask me if I had the vax, and I'd be like, no, and they really wouldn't want to
hang out.
They'd be like, oh, let's meet us. Yeah, and I knew they were, which is fine with me. I really don't care. But now I'm avoiding them because I heard that they're shedding a lot of spike proteins. I don't know if that's true or not. I have to read up on that, but But you know what? I'm not the. There's still people that you sneeze and people run away from you. Like
There's
you've
still
never
some-
like
yeah.
everyone gets a cold or a flu or whatever. You know.
There are worse things than
Yeah, and I never stayed away from people when even people told me, oh, I think I might have it. I'm like, oh, well, I mean,
come here and give me a kiss. Actually,
no, well, I
So-
didn't go that far, but I mean, I never ran away from everybody or from anyone
All right.
or got scared because they sneezed.
But if
Wait.
you're interested, like I think the entire summary might be like around 19 pages or something like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the direct link to the Ninth Circuit Court in the description if you all want to check out the whole thing because there's a lot of really good information there.
Fantastic.
Get informed, guys.
Did you have anything else to talk about today, or was this it?
No, we're done,
All right.
and we're past the. We keep going over, man. We just
We have too much to share, guys. It's just too much.
You gotta let it out.
so yeah. We gotta let it out. Better out than in, I always say. Well, Shrek said it. But yeah, give us a like, give us a comment. Let us know what you think. Did you take the jab? Did you feel forced to, or were you waiting anxiously on the line, in line? Sorry, to.
I was trying to. Those cars that would be. I remember those like an hour's wait.
Do you regret taking the jab?
Let us know what you think.
Or do you not regret it? Like,
You're like,
whatever
no.
comments
I
you
stand by my decision.
and which is okay too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with.
Actually, I applaud your resolve.
Yeah.
Look, this is me applauding, and I'm not being facetious. It takes courage to be that wrong. I'm just kidding. No. Give us a comment and share the show with your friends. Be sure to subscribe. And check us out on X, Facebook, and maybe sometime soon Instagram. Why? He's going to edit it.
No,
All right. Well, God bless, and you guys have a wonderful day, evening, and all that.
Good night.